Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, boom bap like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal. Hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping crazy. Can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain. You fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze. I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray. There'll come a day, a price to pay. Like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets. I digress. They regress. They treat girls like objects. They play around like recess. This rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless. A goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset. I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in.
Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Sitting, waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it. Turn around and started running.
Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it.
Yeah. Ayy, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, open nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2, get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents, cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, open nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2, get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save our loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is green.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Fuck her pumpkin spice.
Oh my god, please don't.
Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normath.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 370 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees. All right, fam, welcome to the show. Hashtag never skip leg day. That's great advice. Never skip leg day. Drop that in the comments. We'll give this swole card away at the end of today's episode. And I did legs yesterday, and my legs are absolutely jello.
Wow.
But they feel good. Not really jello. Sore, tight, felt great, went heavy, and had a great workout. And I hope that you either did legs yesterday, or you're doing it today, or you're doing it tomorrow. And make sure you never skip, because I'm wearing the merch. Don't vote if you skip leg day. I'm in charge. I just got the call from the garbage administration.
Come on, man.
And they said that, Papa Swole, we need to fortify our elections. We need to make sure that people have confidence in our electoral system. So make sure, we do that, we're going to put you in charge. So what would you implement? What would you implement in order to make sure that the elections are going to be, free and fair, and people's votes are going to count, and we're not going to have a lot of dead people voting or illegals voting? And I immediately instituted the policy: do not vote. You can't vote if you skip leg day. So you shouldn't vote, and you will not be allowed to. So you have to at least squat twice your body weight. Can you imagine if you had a squat rack and you had to at least squat your body weight? At least squat your body weight. Twice your body weight, that's brutal. But squatting your body weight should be cake for everyone. It should be cake. It should be. It's not, but it should be. So don't vote if you skip leg day. All right, fam, let's get into today's episode. We got some stuff for the tip. We'll talk about some of the merch that dropped yesterday. We got some new releases, and the merch drop yesterday was absolutely fire. So without further ado, let's moisturize and let's get up into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, of course, you join us over at swolenormousx.com. That way you are going to get first access. Again, when the app drops, members will have first access to the app, and it's coming soon. Join us, swolenormousx.com, if you want to get into all the training programs. If you want to check out the free downloads, we have the 7 pillars over there. Free download over at swolenormousx.com. You get the audiobook, you get the Beyond 7 Pillars ebook, and then, of course, you get the 7 pillars themselves. It's not just this list. It's at least the definition of each of these pillars. And, of course, the Beyond 7 Pillars ebook goes well into more depth. But yesterday, we dropped brand new merch over at papaswolio.com. This is lit. Let's get a little America for that. We have a check blank as hell. And check it out. 20% off new into. Here we go. First post is from Allison. Allison says, I'm 29 years old, will be 20 in March. My 20s were a very dark and hard place to be mentally and physically. My goal and hope for my 30s is to be the complete opposite. I had a Swolenormous membership years ago and enjoyed it, but due to financial and mental health reasons, I ended up canceling it. I fell way off the wagon since, so I'm excited to be back and get serious about my health. I'm ready for a joyful, healthy, and thriving 30s and beyond. I'm also engaged, and as cliche as it sounds, I'm sweating for the wedding. Very cliche. I want to feel and look beautiful on our special day, so that is another big reason I rejoined, besides my overall health and well-being. Okay, so let's talk about this. Welcome back. But obviously, leaving the Swole fam for, I get it, for financial reasons, but you could still be here on the podcast. You could still join every single day and be a part of the community and the greater community, even if you're not officially a member anymore. But this is why also your mental health is going to suffer. If you pull away from your community, you pull away from all the things that are anchoring you with the 7 pillars. Yeah, you're going to fall off into that crevasse. You're going to fall way off the wagon. But we're glad that the gravity, the pull of the Swole fam has brought you home. And of course, sweating for the wedding, that makes me cringe. But at the same time, I understand you want to look good, but this is why it's over time. It's over years and years, not just, I got a month or 2 before the wedding. I don't know when you're getting married. But of course, you can make massive improvements. Let's get you on the elimination diet. Let's get you animal-based, eating a lot of steak and eggs and getting quality sleep and lifting weights. Very simple to improve your health dramatically. So again, in short, welcome back, Allison. I love how you throw in that cliche, and you definitely want to push my buttons, that's for sure. All right, let's get into a simple post, Making America Swole. This guy's Making America Swole. I love the face. This is from Mike. Yeah, working on it. Holding up his Make America Swole card. Super dope. Glad you got it in. A lot of Swole cards went out a few days ago, like over maybe before the weekend. Whenever I announced on the podcast, I said a lot of outstanding Swole cards went out. So if you haven't received it, you should today, yesterday. They all went out. And of course, the most recent ones, maybe the last week or 2, haven't gone out. We need to get more stamps and things like that. So, but for the last few months, any ones that were out, except the most recent ones. Isaiah says, what's up, Papa? I'm keeping with my routines and doubling down on training, recovery, and mindfulness. This is an accountability text from over the weekend. Isaiah continues, got my workouts ready for the week again, 2 to 3 heavy days, push-pull legs for the week, and recovery in between written out as well. I've been steady with typically doing 2 to 5 minute brain gains a day. I've been steady with typically doing 2 5-minute brain gains a day. Trying to stay level-headed, especially with focusing on getting my training and brain gains in daily. I have this new job that's going to help me financially, but I won't get paid till the 8th. So figuring out funds till then. Staying on my grind will hopefully keep my stress down during this in-between time, but it will be a good foundation for when financial stability sets in. Hashtag let's get it, GTTFG, and hashtag Swoletober. Fantastic, dude. And that's always rough when you start a new position and you don't get paid for 2 weeks and you're like, oh, sometimes you can get an advance depending on the situation, but congratulations on the new switch and the schedule shift and the new job. But of course, that beginning portion is always like a little antsy. Like you want to be rolling. You want to be rolling in, bring in that paycheck. So I hear you. Thanks for sharing, and sounds good. You're on point. Let's get into a couple email responses. We have one from the what I think about CrossFit email, and then why I don't follow a 7-day training cycle. And you guys, most of you know why I don't. Of course, the week is very arbitrary. As long as you're getting recovery and you're providing a growth stimulus and you're consistent, it doesn't really matter what day of the week it is. But go to makeemailswoleagain.com to get on the email list. Again, that's makeemailswoleagain.com, and I will bang your inbox. I will make sure I will rejuvenate that inbox because you probably get a lot of spam. You're all stretched out. Now you're going to be feeling great, feeling nice and tight. A little email rejuvenation. Brian says, "Hey, Papa Swolio," responding to the 7-day training cycle and why I don't follow it. Email. Brian says, "Right now it's a push-pull legs with a recovery day every third day." I prompted, I said, "What's your schedule?" and et cetera, et cetera. Also, each split has 2 variations allowing me to prioritize the muscles that need the most work. For example, my pec lifts have improved the most. So one push day will have the heaviest on side delts, and another will be on the tris. One pull day will punish my traps and posterior delts. The other will focus more on bis and lats. There's so much variety in legs that I use 2 different workouts just to avoid too much volume doing all the different exercises in one leg day. I'll do this split until I'm satisfied that everything is developed equally and go back to the old drawing board. Typically, a split lasts about 6 months before I need to refine my training. And I agree. That's usually a good time frame. And you don't have to, by the way, you don't have to rotate two workouts. So I do upper lower split, and I usually do every other day for training. Sometimes I try to do back to back. I like an in-between day because it really allows me to kind of either do some accessory stuff. So sometimes I train on those in-between days, but the more upper lower, the more intense days. Like I said, sometimes I'll do abs, I'll do some yoga, I'll do some calves or some forearms. I don't consider that an upper lower day. I don't consider that intense training because it's not as physiologically fatiguing, and I still am able to progress and feel great on those other days. If I was doing that in my upper lower days, I wasn't seeing progress, I would back off from that. Anyway, that being said, I usually cycle through probably 3, I don't want to say 4, probably 3 different types of workout protocols. So you can rotate probably 3 different workouts, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or something like that, and not be adding too much variety and that consistency. Once you start expanding, if you do 4 or 5 different workouts, by the time you come back around, it's been 2 or 3 weeks, you don't really have those adaptations. But if I'm doing 2 leg workouts and 2 upper body workouts a week, rotating 3 different movements within 10 days or so, I'm hitting the same movements. You're still getting that exposure. You're not going so long that you're losing adaptations from that. So good stuff. And 6 months is a good time frame. It really doesn't matter what the time frame is, but bottom line, what's important from that email is that you're doing it longer. People do random shit all the time, and they wonder why they don't see consistent progress because most people don't stick to things for months. And really, that's what you need to do. What I think about CrossFit email. David says, "I'm trying to build muscle in my older age, 54. You're not old. Stop thinking like that. Still making gains, have stripped back my approach to lift heavy stuff and eat steak. It works." Damn right it works. Stop thinking it's older age. Chronological is not biological. Reverse the clock. Joshua on the why I don't follow a 7-day training cycle. We'll finish up with this email here. "This is good advice I need to adjust to. I do currently have a 7-day split. There have been times I've needed extended recovery after overtraining." And this goes back to my point. It doesn't matter what your split is. It really doesn't. I don't think bro splits are ideal for most people. I've done them before. They do work. They can work, but you're doing a lot more volume, takes a lot more longer to recover, and you're better off doing less volume more frequently and keep your training intensity high. You're better off with more frequency of training. Twice a week for each body part is really great. And adjust your volume accordingly. So your split, whether it's upper lower rest, or upper lower rest, whatever it is, or upper rest, lower rest like I do, or push pull rest, legs rest, push pull. You can do things like that. There really is no right or wrong. It's based on your schedule, what you can be consistent with, and what you recover from. And if you're seeing progress and you're recovering enough, then you can keep to that split. But if you find you do a split for the first week, it feels great. The second week, it feels great. The third week, you're kind of dragging. And the fourth week, you're burnt out. Then there's something wrong with the split. So think about this. There's something wrong with the split if you're not able to do it long term. If it's a proper split, honestly, you should be able to do it. I'm not a fan of the splits that exhaust people and then after 5-6 weeks, they're wiped out. Now, we have programs that have a back off week and a cycle week and a deloading week, quote unquote, slingshot week, different things because of the application in the programs that we have in Swolenormous X. The ones that have those weeks, that's to help you understand what training intensity is like and what it feels to pull back and give you comparison and contrast and understand, because a lot of people don't realize how much more recovery they need. So it gives you perspective and whoa, I need to rest more because I feel so much. I was more wiped out than I thought I was. So it teaches you that difference. But overall, this is why Maximum Swole doesn't have that, because you should be on a good protocol. If you're on a good recovery cycle, you don't have to take extended periods off. You could be lifting heavy and intensely indefinitely because you're recovering more all the time. Now, as you get older or as your needs change, maybe that recovery period becomes 2 days off. Or from my perspective, doing every other day, I don't think I'll ever do 2 days off on purpose. Sometimes maybe something happens, there's a storm or traveling or something. Okay, I'll work it out, do a little more volume, and then take 2 or 3 days off. There's nothing wrong with that. But with the every other day approach, I don't think I would ever extend the recovery period in the days. What I would do is just adjust the volume that I do in those days. So if I'm doing 2 or 3 sets for chest and I'm doing upper twice a week, if that gets a little bit too much, then I'll do 2 sets, or I'll do 1 set and I'll do it twice a week or 3 times a week. Adjust the volume. I think the volume is much more important, and people don't realize how much you get from less volume if you're training intensely enough. So you don't have to extend and rest 7 days to hit that body part again. If you're doing 20 sets, yeah, you're gonna be so sore and fucked up and fatigued, you might need a long period until you hit it again. But if you're doing 2 or 3 sets, you don't have to rest as long. You don't need as many days of recovery. Remember, it's not just local recovery, it's systemic recovery. It's how you feel overall. So that's why I do the every other day. So because I train intensely upper body and I train intensely, of course, lower body, I want that day in between where it's like a little bit of it's a less intensity, whether I'm doing accessories or not. It's a little bit of a pullback. 2 days in a row of like boom, boom. I just feel it takes a little bit too much out of me. And 1 day off after that just isn't enough. I always feel like I need an extra day. So now when I do it every other day, I never feel that. So I'm able to be consistent. So I just stick with it. And I've never felt the need to adjust it or, oh, I'm still burnt out and too much. Every time I do 2 days in a row, it catches up with me sooner. Like it eventually just catches up with me and I have to adjust to another day. So you can do that if it's convenient. Hey, I can't lift on Saturday because we're going somewhere. All right, let me do a Thursday, Friday, but I will adjust my programming on those 2 days, maybe drop the volume on each of those days so I can do a back-to-back. You know, you could plan that. You can change things. It's totally okay to pivot, but you want to find something that you can be consistent with. Okay, let's get into some questions. Fam, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. I feel like there's energy. I feel like there's question energy. So drop it in the chat. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio if you got a live question. If you want to call into the show, feel free to call in, askpapaswolio.com, and you can record up to a minute, ask a question anytime, anywhere in the world. So take advantage of this, 100% free. Go to Ask Papa. If you're a member, doesn't matter who you are, you can ask a question here, and we'll get to it in an upcoming episode. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Not enough people use that feature, and fine. All right. We'll take questions from elsewhere, but if you have a question, you can always go there. Always go there. All right. Live questions, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio in the comments.
What's in the box?
Aaron, what is the benefit of the weighted bat you are swinging around? Mace or steel club or the wood clubs, great for wrist, grip strength, elbow, integrity, shoulder mobility. It's fantastic. Lots of benefits. Absolutely fantastic. And we have all the programs and training protocols and instructionals and master classes inside Swolenormous X if you're interested. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, thumbs up, fam. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please take a moment and hit those 5 stars, leave a review. It helps tremendously. I love to see those more reviews come in. It helps. It gets more suggestions. Share the show with your friends. Helps a lot. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up and leaving those reviews on the podcast app. James says, Poppy Swolio, I have strong arms and legs, but can't shift belly fat. What do I need to do? I don't know what strong legs and arms means, what your opinion is, but you need to get your nutrition in order. You might be training too much. You might not be recovering enough. Building muscle is important. It'll improve your metabolism. It'll improve your sugar utilization. You need to get your sleep in order. You need to get your nutrition in order. Probably the food quality matters. All the things we talk about every day. Cupcakes. Oh, let's see. Unstoppable on Rumble. 365. So I don't see any if you're watching on YouTube. I definitely bias towards, Rumble, but I'm not seeing comments or chat. I might stop. We may stop streaming on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe over on Rumble, but I'm not seeing any chat come in. So whether it's working or not, make sure you come on over to Rumble if you want your chat to be seen. Unstoppable 365, Papa Soil, what do you mix with magnesium glycinate powder? Tried for the first time last night with water, and it's definitely an acquired taste in water. Just drink. You're not sitting there. I don't know how much water you mix it in, just down the hatch. I'm not sipping it to be an enjoyment. I'm sipping it for the function. So I just mix it. I just put it in water. It's gross. It tastes like a fish's asshole, but it works great. Cupcakes don't kill. I'll tell you what I do like during my workouts with the liquid. So I'll tell you in a second. I'll go into that in a little bit more depth. Cupcakes don't kill. Papa Soy, I bought some raw honeycomb and I love eating it. Do you recommend not going over a certain amount in a day, though? I think you got to use your best judgment. How much honey are you fucking eating? I eat raw honey, but I'll take a couple tablespoons before I work out, maybe afterwards. I'm not just sucking down eating honey all day long. But if you're lifting weights and you're training hard, especially around your workouts, you can utilize more sugar and your body is going to metabolize it just fine. People that are, fearmonger about eating fruit, you eat fruit, it's going to spike your insulin, all this different stuff. If you're lifting weights, you're eating meat and you're getting your carbs from fruit mostly and you're getting sun, you're taking care of yourself, you're going to feel fine. You're going to be great. You're going to be great. So I don't have a certain amount of honey, but I don't eat so much that I'm going to be, is this too much honey? I've never reached that point. I also don't just overeat honey. But like I said, like a tablespoon or two, and you lick it. It's dense. It's overloading. You don't need that much. Going back to the magnesium glycinate. So for my workouts, I have electrolytes and stuff before, but during the workout, I'll put in a scoop of electrolytes, a little bit more magnesium. I'll put in some Celtic sea salt also, glutamine, and also what we do is we get like natural, 100% pure lemon juice, organic lemon juice. So we'll get it squeezed, or we're going to have like a lemon tree so we can squeeze it. But I'll just put a little bit, a little dabble. And sometimes I have coconut water. I'll mix coconut water in. I'll just put like a third of my container of coconut water if we have some in the fridge. But I'll just take a little bit of the lemon juice or squeeze a lemon in there just for a little bit of sugar and a little bit of, I think you might like that. Not necessarily at night, but if you squeeze a little bit of lemon in your water, it'll take off that asshole and it balances out the salty taste if you have electrolytes and stuff like that. But I do magnesium, I do that. So when I'm working out, having a little sugar in there, a little bit from the lemon juice or the coconut water is great. Cupcakes don't kill. I try so hard not to ask stupid questions. I don't want to scare people off from asking questions, but if you're like, how do I lose weight? You ask there's just like the understood lazy questions. There are a lot of people that have said there are no stupid questions, and I disagree. There are definitely stupid questions. I mean, maybe it's not stupid, but they're lazy. If you're asking, how do I get abs? That's just a lazy question. We've done 3,070 episodes. It's almost rude. You say it again. I don't want to listen to anything else. I don't want to do any work. Yeah, don't worry. I mean, but I definitely don't agree with that. There's no stupid questions, but I think it's just a lazy question. But that's not a lazy question, asking about electrolytes or honeycomb. That's not a dumb question. You guys know the dumb questions. How do I get abs? I want to build muscle. What should I do? It's not a stupid question. It's just a lazy question. The problem with some people, and no one here watching the show, but the problem with some people is they only ask questions. You've heard the term, they're ask-holes. Ask-hole, like asshole. They just like to hear themselves ask a question. It's this fake way of people LARPing like they're doing something. I'm asking a question about eating nutrition. Well, I asked. I'm gathering information. It's just an excuse to procrastinate. So a lot of times people just ask questions all the time, but they never take action. They never apply it. So in their head, it's sort of excuses not taking action. They pretend, well, I'm going to start next month. I'm just getting information. Well, it's the holiday. And start applying. I started lifting weights. I wanted to get big. I lifted for a year before I really knew what the fuck I was doing. Much longer, I should say. Much longer than a year, but I didn't make the progress. I didn't build muscle. I got lean and shredded. But this is not bulking. This is not working. Chicken and salad is not working. I was doing low carb. I was doing cardio, and I was doing long workouts, and I don't know, I looked like a little fuck boy. Muscular and lean abs. But I wasn't building muscle. I wasn't getting bigger, so something was wrong. I wasn't doing it right. But a lot of people just keep on doing the same shit. I looked at it. I'm not doing it right. Let me read and see what people that have gotten absolutely jacked do. And then I did that, and I copied that, and I ate like them, and I trained like them, and guess what? I got big. Okay. A couple more questions if we got them. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Unstoppable says, that's why I liked when James Clear talks about being in motion versus taking action. Oh, yeah. Kind of like doing busy work rather than actual. Well, there's a lot of things that people do to seem busy. They're asking questions or listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos. They pretend like they're making progress and they're absorbing information, but they're not really applying it in their lives. You're much better off trying something and like, oh, that doesn't work, that failed, and then doing something else because you're learning through actual feedback. And this is what happens in the gym. You try certain things. Oh, I like that exercise. And there's a lot of good information out there. There's a lot of bad information, but you can watch 10 different YouTube channels of people that that have large followings for fitness. And some people are going to be, I'm a believer of this, and this is wrong, and this is right. You might try different things. You really have to try it yourself because there's some exercise, there's some pieces of equipment, and there's some exercise that someone might say, that's not ideal for working the biceps. That's not the best exercise. There's no point in doing this movement. But if you love it, you see a lot of progress, and you just look forward to doing this exercise, then who's to say that you shouldn't? If you're making progress and you're satisfied with it and it's working for you, there's a lot of different things that can work. And just because one move might be more optimal and this angle is better, you might fucking hate it. You might hate setting up a bench in that way. You might just hate the machine. You might just not feel it. But this other one, man, it just fucking crushes you and you really see progress. And then guess what? Do that one. Everyone's a little bit different. And also, you're going to have a different preference. But if there's an exercise, you know how I am when it comes to favorites. My quote, unquote favorite movement is going to be one that works. But if I have two movements that both work, if there's two movements that both work, but one I really look forward to doing, guess what? I'm going to be consistent with that. I'm going to train that hard and I'm really going to enjoy it more. So there is a factor there. There is a factor for adhesion and consistency and putting in full effort. Papa Swole, do you worry that eventually your listeners will all be too young to understand the Matt Damon soundbite? It's never crossed my mind. When I make shirts, when I do soundboards, it's to make me laugh. If it makes me laugh, I'm going to do it. I don't care if people understand it or not. There's some shirts that we put out that crack me the fuck up that other people might not like, or soundboards. Yeah, I don't mind. Everything's going to be older than people someday. Everything's like that. I mean, Cerny knows, right? Cerny's got that vaudeville tip, right? Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Okay. If you abuse me, honey, you'll lose me. All right. Too soon? Let's see. Underscores piss off Papa. When is the Falcon going to fuck Tessie so she comes back to the side of the swole? Right? I don't know, man. I think it's coming. Tessie, she's starting to get less attention for it. So once the attention, everyone's like, oh my God, Tessie's hair and look at the septum piercing. But after she stops getting attention, if we stop talking about it, she'll probably come back. This is really how it goes. She has to stop getting attention for it, and then she's going to probably come out of it. One of a kind, 24. Now we're getting questions. I had a feeling today was a good question day. Not on Instagram. That's always a garbage heap. One of a kind, 24. Papa Swolio, I've already eliminated a lot of things out of my diet, and they're not a lot I eat as is. I noticed after eating eggs and chicken, I get bad gas. What other source of protein would you recommend? Beef? Beef could be the type of eggs, could be how you cook them. Chicken, you get bad gas. Usually, that's usually a result of other things going on with your gut. Your gut cells replace pretty frequently, but getting bad gas is a sign of inflammation or intolerance to something you're eating, or the quantity, perhaps. But it could just be leaky gut from other issues and irritation. I don't know how you're preparing your eggs or what quality of eggs you're getting, but beef. Get some beef in there. Mark says, I got crap from my Only Swole shirt at my old gym. Pfft, that person sucks. That person sucks. Dad of 3. Is whole body workout good every 3 to 4 days, or should I be going to the gym daily? I would say a full body workout every 3 to 4 days is pushing it. I would make it every 2 to 3. A Monday, Wednesday, Friday is fine. Monday, Tuesday, Sunday is also good. Depending on the volumes. Let's say Monday you're busy, so you're doing less volume. You do 3 or 4 movements. Then you could maybe train again on Wednesday. But if Wednesday you have a little more time, you do a little bit more volume, then maybe you rest 2 days and then do it Saturday. So you can adjust 1 or 2 days between. 3 or 4 days, it depends on what movements you're hitting. Because if you're doing full body, you're not going to hit every single body part necessarily. So full body, you could train more frequently because you're doing less volume per body part. But it also depends on the exercise selection. If you're doing deadlifts and heavy bench and squats, you're doing a lot of exhausting, fatiguing movements, it's going to take you longer to recover. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It's really about the frequency that these muscles are getting exposure to. But if you're doing T-bar rows, right, you're doing a high upper back row, you're getting some posterior deltoid. And it really depends on what you need to prioritize. What body parts you're trying to bring up, which ones need more focus, and that might change over time. But if you're doing 3 days a week, for example, full body, you can choose certain movements that are going to hit more body parts. Maybe doing an isolated hip bridge might not be ideal, but you could do a squat, you could do an RDL, right? You could do a squat or a leg press or something that's going to be quad focused, and then do an RDL that's going to get some hamstrings and glutes, like a hip hinge exercise. So it depends. Okay, Eric. We'll wrap up soon. Any other last questions, go drop in the chat. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Eric says, I've been training for 10 plus years and I'm ripped and shredded. Well, aren't you special, Eric? But my biceps always look small. My triceps are good. Okay, so you need to prioritize your biceps. Train them first in your workout. Like with any body part, whatever you need to bring up. And this is why I always say, if you're training 4 days a week, upper lower split, let's say you want to bring up your calves, train them first. Maybe you're not going to train them first 4 days out of the week, but maybe you're training your calves at the beginning of leg day, and then you're training your biceps first before upper body day. This is why I always say you can really only prioritize, probably 2 body parts at a time. It doesn't mean other ones aren't going to grow, but the most, when you're neurologically fresh, when you're the most recovered, is at the beginning of the workout. Now, the good thing, for example, about training calves first is that it's not really fatiguing for the entire body. The calves recover pretty quickly, and you're not going to be exhausted. So if I do that and then I do pendulum squats like I did yesterday, I'm not wiped out. I'm not like, oh my God, I have no more energy. It's a small muscle group. It can handle a lot of weight, but it doesn't wipe you out. So whatever you need to bring up, train first. So you need to be training your biceps first in your workout. You could train them before legs. If you do upper lower, you could train biceps before legs. You can also do it before upper body, because doing biceps first and then doing chest, not a problem. You might feel because if you're not doing so much volume, it depends on if you're doing other elbow flexion focused exercises, but there's no reason why you can't do biceps before a leg workout. You could do forearms or calves before legs. You can always throw in posterior deltoid, right? If I do every other day and I want to do some posterior deltoid, I might throw in 2 sets of, reverse pec deck before legs. It's not fatiguing. It's not going to wipe me out. So your triceps are good. If your biceps always look small, then maybe your form sucks. You're not targeting them properly, but you've probably never done biceps first in a workout. Maybe you do a separate arm day, but you don't need that. And maybe you need to do more frequently. Maybe if you train 3 or 4 days a week, you do one set of all out, one set of biceps before 3 of those days or 2 of those days. Less volume, more frequently, more intensity. I don't know what you're doing for biceps, but make sure you're doing a preacher curl or face away cable curls. There's a lot of great exercises for biceps that you might not be doing. One of a kind, I've heard that beef doesn't digest fast. Is this true? And what could we take to keep things flowing smoothly? I hate feeling constipated. You shouldn't be constipated. That's something's going on with your diet. You're not eating maybe enough fats or something like that. Beef doesn't digest. I mean, not as fast as maybe eggs, I would suppose. But what can you take? Magnesium helps. If you have any kind of mineral deficiency or vitamin deficiency, it's going to negatively affect. Also, yeah, proper hydration, electrolytes and salt. A lot of times people don't use enough salt, quality salt, like Celtic sea salt. So electrolytes and things like that help tremendously. So I don't know what your electrolyte consumption is, but most people are electrolyte deficient. Hydration is not about water. It's about electrolytes. Proper hydration. It helps water draw into the cell. And Ben, is diet eating correctly important? Or diet eating is eating a good diet. I'm just going to translate. Important for muscles to be lean as fuck or toned. Yes, but it has nothing to do with. A proper nutrition and everything overall will help you be leaner. There's no such thing as toning muscle. You're not toning muscle. You build muscle, you break down muscle. Toning is bullshit. Lean is you want muscle, build muscle, and then you get rid of the fat on top, and people call that toned. That's just another name for I want to be leaner. So, okie dokie. Danny, he/him. Yeah, okay. Why do you not like pumpkin spice coffee? Well, in coffee, it's offensive. And sweet coffee is disgusting. It's gross. You might I like my coffee sweet. You like soda, and you're pretending to, you're getting your sugar injection through coffee, and you're pretending like it's not soda. Fuck that shit. Fuck your pumpkin spice. Fuck your Starbucks garbage. And look, people are like, I want to put, what are the flavorings? Paprika or whatever. Some people like their pumpkin spice flavoring, but it's not sugar. I'm really talking about the pumpkin. I'm really talking about your pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. But if you have some sort of like spices and stuff, and there's no sugar, whatever, cinnamon and paprika, but I don't care. Do that. But you're getting pumpkin spice latte. That's like 500 grams of sugar. That's gross. But it ruins coffee. Sweet stuff is awful for coffee. It's awful. One of a kind. I drink a lot of water, but don't do a lot of salt. I'll work on that. It's not just salt. It's potassium and magnesium. So Redmond hydration is a great supplement. A great element is good, but I find I need more magnesium too. You don't do a lot of salt. That's probably why you're having issues. Marco Biela. How many times do you eat red meat per week? Every day. Rarely will I go a day without having it. Or I have raw dairy, or we have chicken, but rarely will there be a day. Sometimes Mama Solia will have, she'll make chicken for dinner, but I'll have some cold steak or leftover steak earlier. So every day. It's a rare day where I don't have meat. And if I don't, I feel hungry. If I have chicken's a vegetable. So I'm like, oh, you made vegetables. She's like, do you want to have chicken? I'm like, I guess we got some veggies tonight. But I usually have steak with my veggies, so I'll have steak and chicken. Yeah, unflavored real life, that's the way to go. You don't want those artificial flavorings in there. Not my fan. Not a fan of it. Okie dokie. John asks, do we have any more than this? Oh, we do. Is running for 30 minutes a day a substantial workout to lose weight, or should I try upping it? Fuck your running. You can do running if you enjoy it. If you have good form, you can do sprints and stuff, high intensity interval cardio to get your zone 2 and 3, but make sure you're lifting weights. If you want to lose weight, you don't want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. So focus on building muscle. Get in a good strength training program. SoulNormousX.com. Join the fam. Start one of our training programs. Torres Berlin, any supplement that you recommend? Creatine, good electrolyte, magnesium, vitamin D. If you're not getting any, glutamine with electrolytes is good. Just some things there, but most people are deficient in magnesium and vitamin D. Okie dokie. Any other questions live or follow-ups? Dad of 3 talking about whole body workout 3 to 4 days says only compound moves. So compound moves are more fatiguing. You don't have to only do compound moves. That's not something that you need to do. It's just much more exhausting, so you don't want to do as much volume. So that's why you might want to wait longer, but you also don't have to do the same volume of compound moves every day. There's nothing wrong with compound moves, but isolation is it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But squats, deadlifts, and bench are great, but you also want to get some rows in there, a hip hinge exercise, more like a RDL. I know you're doing deadlifts, but RDLs are great to mix in. There's a lot of good things you could do if you just have barbells. Nothing wrong with just barbell moves, but you can still do some, other movements. You could do JM presses. You could do, overhead presses. You probably do that, or bicep curls and stuff. And when we talk about compound and isolation, obviously, if you're doing a curl, yeah, you might just be, it's not really only working one joint. You have other joints stabilizing and this, that, and the other. So, but compound means multi-joint. You're squatting your ankles, knees, hips, but you have all your vertebrae that's working. And of course, upper body takes a big toll too. Just what you want to look at when it comes to your frequency of training, understand that if you train muscles in more of a lengthened position, or you do more physiologically exhausting exercises like a squat pattern or a deadlift or an RDL, that's more of a lengthened movement for a lot of these exercises, and it's much more fatiguing. Like we just talked about, training your forearms, you might get a sick pump and like, woo, but you're not going to be, it's not the same thing as a set of deadlifts or squats or Smith machine squats or rows. So if you find you're not recovering enough, look at the exercise you're doing. If you're doing heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, heavy rows, RDLs, just saying, a lot of these movements are very exhausting. So you have to adjust the volume, and you might not want to do all of them on the same day. So if you find that you're programming, before you just add more days of recovery between, you want to increase the frequency. So how can you do that? Better exercise selection, and keep the intensity high, but adjust the volume. And you don't always have to do 4 or 5 reps. I like to keep my reps low because I'm able to recover faster and it's less fatiguing. But it doesn't mean that you can't change it up and do like an 8 rep day or 8 to 10 reps for some exercises. Some exercises, let's say I'm doing some isolation exercises, I might not go that low. Sometimes I feel like going that low. Sometimes I'll do a back off set, or I'll do a set where it's a little bit higher. A lot of people don't even do 8 to 10 reps. So for me, 8 to 10 is high reps based on what I normally do. But there's nothing wrong with getting to that point with certain movements. It's not that, right? So if you're doing forearms and you're doing, let's say, wrist curls, and you do 8 or 10 or 12 reps, if you're doing it for squats, that's a lot more fatigue that you're incurring. But that's for squats. For forearms, again, it's not, or calves, you're not, oh my God, I did 12 reps, I'm going to be so fatigued. It's not taking that much out of you. But if you're doing deadlifts and you're failing at 12 reps, or squats and you're failing at 12 reps, that's a lot more volume than for that exercise, because it's compound and exhausting. Anything more than 5 is cardio. That's a good shirt. It probably exists, but I can jack it. Look at the churchy. Everyone see the church? Aww. Look at her arm. She's tucked in. That was a week ago, by the way. A week ago today, right now, a week ago, Mama Swole and I were losing our fucking shit at 1:30. We were losing our mind. We didn't get her back till like 3 or so, 3:30. So at this time, we were devastated. That was a week ago. Feels like, wow. You're a good girl. Sweet churchy. Sweet little pinks. Safe and sound. All right, we good? Balls deep time? Balls deep. That's deep. Lightweight. Fam, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe on Rumble, rumble.com/Daily Swole. And of course, leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Come on, fam. Leave that review. Why is that still on the screen? Okay. Just stayed there. I didn't even realize it was still there. All right, let's get into some balls deep content. Who's ready? Oh my God. We got some interesting posts. Are there short ones? Sometimes if there's a 7-second one, I like to do them first. We got two that are kind of short. I'm going to get us started. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3, and we'll do this one. It's called weight, not a controllable variable.
What's in the box?
Weight's not a controllable variable. Have any of you lost fat and lost weight before? Of course you have. So it's controllable. Controllable as fuck. Completely controllable. But okay.
It's come to my attention that most of you think that weight is a controllable variable, as if any fat person can just decide not to be fat anymore.
Yep.
And I want to be the first person to tell you, you're wrong.
You're not the first.
What is a controllable variable is your fat phobia. Thank you.
That was not pleasurable.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really.
Let the soundboard do the work. Let the soundboard do the work. I don't need to do any work. All right. Leslie jumped in there. Pre-picking number 2. Pre-picking number 2. I like that. Pre-picking number 2. This one's called hurricanes. Oh boy. Are they racist now or something? Why is this in my folder? Why is hurricanes in my folder?
So when I seen the hurricane hit North Carolina and Tennessee, the first thing I thought was, damn, there goes some racists. There we go. We got some gone. And then I just seen this video that like the area it hit is like sundown town after sundown town after sundown town. And they're just completely flattened and gone. And I was like, God's work. God's work.
These people are sick and twisted. Libtards and leftists are sick and twisted people. You never see someone, and I'll explain this. You'll never see I shouldn't say you never. There's always those individual, but you never see like conservative Christians or people on the right more often. And I don't really just mean right, but moderate right, people that have common sense and logic. You don't see people like that. Like you or me, people that use logic and common sense. As you know, I have a double doctorate in logic and common sense. Thank you very much. But you don't see them wishing for death on other people, right? This is the party that we don't want more war. We don't want people to suffer. We want Biden to treat this country, the United States, like Ukraine. Send us some fucking money. Like, help people here. I don't think you should print money for free. Nothing's free. We pay for it. And we've been paying for it. But it's because there's morality on this side. When you have people like conservative Christians and people that have a moral foundation, there's good and evil. You don't wish death on other people. This person literally is gloating that there are people that lost everything. Everything. That's so sick. Everything. You see these videos in Gatlinburg and North Carolina. I used to love going to the Smoky Mountains hiking. It's so beautiful there. You don't have to agree with some of these people, but I don't wish that their livelihood and their cars and sometimes their lives and people and their dogs, and I don't wish that they have a destructive natural disaster. That's sick. That's evil. To wish that. It happens, and it has happened, and it's unfortunate. It's severely unfortunate, but it's one thing. It's one thing. They're both bad, but it's one thing to be like, I wish something bad will happen to these people. That's evil in itself. But after the fact, like, can't you just be one, even if you feel that way, you're a sick, twisted person, but can't you just keep it to yourself? Why would you put that on the internet? Why would you, like, that's just really sick. Really sick. Yeah, Sheena says, I deleted a lot of people for complaining that Trump didn't die. I don't want to be associated with disgusting people like that. You don't have to like everything that Trump says. This is what I've been saying for, like, you don't have to like the way he says things all the time. There are things that I see on X or I see on the news or whatever that Trump said, and I double check, and it's like, yeah, dude, like, why'd you say it like that? I don't get my feelings hurt. I'm not crying over things like that, but I wouldn't have said it like that. I said a lot of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I've said a lot of ridiculous, outlandish stuff that's on the internet for all posterity. But there are things that Trump says and the way he says it that I know a lot of you are like, dude, like, like it could have not been said like that. But I'm also not going to be like, oh my God, my feelings. I'm not going to cry about it. So just because both things can be true. You could support the president. You could support him and know that he's the best chance that we have. You know, he's what we need right now. And he's in the position to help this country, and also not like everything that he says. It's okay. You could do both. There's like this weird thing that people are like, I need to like everything, but he said this, but he said that thing online. He put that in on the tweet. He tweeted that. Okay. I don't care. Like, did you have, could you afford a meal? Could you afford food every day? Could you afford to fill up your car with gas? Did you have a risk of your children being sent over to fight a bullshit war? Like, there's much more important things that he said a thing on Twitter. Oh my God. He said a thing. It hurt my feelings. You know, these people just don't have any kind of moral compass, and they don't understand what's really important. And the reason why most of these people on the left and liberals, they get so emotionally driven by this is because they're told to. They listen to the media and everything the media says. The media says, hate this person. He said mean thing, bad. And like, yeah, mean thing, bad, orange man. They just have no thought process, and they have no thoughts of their own. They can't generate a thought objectively. They just have to follow what they're being told to say, which is scary. I mean, this is how countries and dynasties and civilizations fall, is because you just parrot, repeat, copy, paste, and like, yeah, what that person said. I say the same thing. Yeah. Say thing. Okay, let's get into another one. We got 2 more videos. Cerny, let's go with the GOAT. Number 1, books for kids. Ooh, you know this is going to be rough. Cerny to the corner.
What's in the box?
Cerny's fault. Now, books for kids.
Today, I want to talk about Freedom to Read Week, which is this week. I know it's late in the week, but this week is Freedom to Read Week. And what Freedom to Read Week means is that everyone should get to choose to read what they want to read. Just like you might have different favorite foods, different people have different books they like. And it's important not to tell other people what they can and can't read.
Different people have different books they like. The more you know. Thank you. Different people like different books. My God. My goodness. I'm learning a lot right now. Let's continue.
Sometimes grown-ups don't want certain books in libraries or schools because they think the books might be too scary, or they disagree with them, or the books don't match their beliefs.
I'm going to just go out on a limb and assume you're talking about the pedophile books that are grooming kids to focus on sex when they're like 3, 4, and 5 years old. Let me clarify. There are sometimes books that parents, again, there are sometimes books that parents don't want their children to read. Any questions? That's because those are their children. I'm assuming this absolute vacuous womb over here has no children, but of course she has your children. So these sickos don't understand that, yeah, sometimes parents don't want their children exposed to certain things. This is why you should homeschool and get your kids out of these indoctrination centers. All right, little rant here. It's a little presumptive, but I'm assuming she's going to talk about these people don't want their kids to talk about, I don't know, being gay and trans in this trans kids book when they're 4. Okay. Yeah, you're the parent. You can. All right, let's go. Let's see. I'm assuming that's what's going to go. How unfortunate is it that I'm probably predicting what she's going to say? I haven't seen this video yet, but that shouldn't be what she says, but she probably will.
And it's okay for people to have different opinions, but it's also important.
It's okay for different people to have different opinions, as she's going to proceed to tell you, but your opinions are wrong. It's okay for people to have different opinions, but when they're different than mine,
And for everyone to make their own choice about what's best for them.
Can we stop the video now? Thank you for telling me that water is wet, that the refracted light in the sky makes the sky look blue. We appreciate all the logic and common sense so far. But there's 1 minute and 16 seconds left, so it's about to take a sweet left.
Books are like windows into new worlds and ideas. Even if we don't agree with everything in them, they help us think and understand the world together.
Oh, Lord help us.
So today, for our 1-minute book talk, I have some books for Freedom to Read book that people have asked to be removed because
it's going to be like, open your asshole for the Candyman. Number 1, that white van, it ain't so bad. Strangers have the best candy. Mr. Thompson's chocolate bars. Oh, man. Always get into the ice cream man's van. Parents don't like these books. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't judge a van by its color. If you don't get into a van driven by a black man, that's racist. Okay, let's, here we go. Take a deep breath.
that people have asked to be removed because they didn't agree with them. We have them in the library because, as I said, everyone has different favorites, and you have the freedom to choose whether to read a book or not read a book.
Oh, it's a long intro. It's a long intro. You know these are going to be bad.
These books will be on the cheese table today, but they'll also be on the cheese table Monday.
Let's
for you
go.
to continue to explore.
Let's go.
We have books like Black is a Rainbow Color.
What? We have books like Black is a Rainbow Color. Holy shit. I've never even heard of that one. Black is a Rainbow Color. No, it's not. Has anyone ever seen a black rainbow? I never have. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Have books like Black is a Rainbow Color. When Aiden Becomes a Brother.
When Aiden became a brother? That's just a black, okay. I don't know what that's about. It's probably horrific.
Jack, Not Jackie.
Jack, Not Jackie. So this is a non-binary tale? Yeah, I wouldn't want my child reading that. Jesus Christ.
My Shadow is Purple.
So these sound they don't sound innocent, but it always does, right? It always does. Ministry of Truth, the Ministry of Love. It's all love and acceptance. My Shadow is Purple. The fuck? The fuck? Your shadow is purple? Yeah, okay, weird.
Red, A Crayon Story.
So again, if you don't know any better, Red, A Crayon Story, they're banning a crayon story? Yeah, I bet it's I'm red, but identify as a blue crayon, right? I see a blue. It looks like a red crayon, but so obviously the crayon wants to be blue or something, and it doesn't want to be red, and it doesn't have to be red because it just felt that way. It's like a trans crayon. Oh, Jesus Christ. How sick is that? Fuck, man, that's gross. What age group is that for? That's for a 3-year-old. You can see on the cover, it's a red crayon, and there's blue. A crayon story. Oh, the crayon didn't feel like being red. Well, the crayon has a mental illness. God.
Julian is a Mermaid.
Julian is a mermaid. Okay, we can use our imagination there.
Fred Gets Dressed.
Fred gets dressed, and I'm sure Fred wants to dress like Buffalo Bill and put the lotion on its skin or something.
Molly's Tuxedo. That's a picture day one.
Molly's tuxedo. So she's wearing boy clothes, non-binary, trans, whatever. The tuxedo makes her feel special because she could just change. I don't know. I'm just guessing the moral arc of these, or the lack of moral arc of these stories.
Pink is for boys.
Pink is for boys. Well, that's self-explanatory.
Bodies are cool. Many of us read this one.
Oh, God. Fucking bodies are cool. What does that mean? Bodies are cool. You know what it means. All bodies are good. All bodies. It's pedophilia, man. That's all it is. Why are we talking about obese bodies and seeing pictures of all these different... You're justifying sloth and laziness and gluttony. Oh, everyone looks different. Well, most people that are fat obviously have terrible fucking habits. Oh, I forgot that's my fat phobia. That's not the fact that they love Dunkin' Donuts. It's my fat phobia. Look at the time. I missed my struggle session this morning. That's why I still have fat phobia in my brain. God damn it. I gotta unlearn that stuff. I really gotta put that on my schedule.
Was on the Monarch. Jacob's New Dress.
Jacob's New Dress. What's wrong with that title? Oh, this is sick. Yeah, I wonder why parents don't want these books in their schools and libraries. Any reason that you can imagine why a parent wouldn't want their 3-year-old going to an indoctrination camp and being told that they're the opposite sex? That's sick shit. That's so fucking sick.
And Prince and Knight. All of these fabulous books are in our library on the cheese table. Remember, you have the right to choose whether to pick up that book or not. I hope you'll come down and explore some great books in our library. Have a great day, chickadee.
This is the problem. You have the choice. No, you don't. These kids don't have a choice. Kids don't have a choice. That's the point of parenting. As a parent, you make the choices for your children. They don't know any better. This is why these lunatics and pedophiles manipulate children, because they can't defend themselves. They can't defend themselves. They don't know any better. They just accept, and these people get off. It's like this psychological manipulation that these people, it's like a sexual gratification. I'm not saying all these people want to literally fuck kids, but they literally get off. They just get off manipulating a brain. They get off psychologically manipulating children, like innocence. It's the destruction of life. This is the only thing I can think of. They get off with destroying life. They get off. That's why it's like a death cult. They just get off with destruction. They get off with breaking down. They get off with destruction of innocence. It's disgusting. It's evil, disgusting shit. Okay, last one. We're just going to play it because in the folder, this is called Karma for Slavery. Oh, we got more people. Oh, so people in North Carolina got hit with a hurricane, and because there were slaves a couple hundred years ago, and just like in California, right? All those reparations for slaves when there was never slaves in California, like that old chestnut.
Last night I was thinking this. I was looking up these places, right, that this Hurricane Helene hit. Majority of them are like places that we not there. That's not for us. This is a white party only. Didn't you know this? Right? Type situation. And even though it's tragic, people are losing their houses, businesses, everything, right? It's kind of weird that the places that the hurricane was supposed to hit really hard, it didn't hit really hard, and the places that were like in the middle of nowhere are just being leveled to a point of non-existence, right? And it's like, why is it that? Why is it that these towns that are not diverse at all getting destroyed, and the cities that are diverse are getting flooding, but not too bad, right? Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. But also as well, they say that the hurricane is the spirit of a black woman that were necessarily enough thrown over the boats during slavery. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You tell me. You tell me. Because to me, what it looks like is karma. It might be karma. It might be. Or it's just a happy coincidence that these sundown towns got devastated by this hurricane. I don't know. You tell me. Like, share, comment.
Okay, I'll be honest. I played it. I'll be honest. I was answering a text message. I'll be honest. I didn't listen to a fucking thing the guy said, and I'm not apologizing for it. I'm sure you heard it. It was probably nonsense. I don't think I heard a fucking thing. I didn't hear. Was there a point made? Once my brain didn't get like a coherent topic, it was just like, yeah. All right. That's it. I didn't really pick up on that. Okay. Fam. Yeah, I deleted the video. Yeah. Okay, pick a number 1 or 2. Let's do a throwback. Who's ready for a throwback? Pick one. Number 1, number 2. Let's cleanse the palate. Cleanse the palate. Number 1 or number 2. First one I see. Positive Charisma 2. Here we go. Throwback.
Gets me about the anti-trans conservative rhetoric around like puberty blockers for trans kids. If they really did care about making sure children weren't being mutilated,
is that Dylan Swolvany?
They would be the #1 advocates for puberty blockers, not only because they're empirically supported and because they were developed for cisgender people.
You're a very stupid man.
But because they would realize that forcing somebody to go through a puberty with a dominant hormone that is misaligned with your actual gender.
Pause. I don't think I could be more against puberty blockers. I don't think I could possibly disagree with puberty blockers more. You're chemically castrating a child. You can't undo this. It's not reversible. Anyone that says that is either a fucking retard or they're lying to your face or both. Super accurate and based. Based, younger Papa Swolio. All right, fam. Hashtag never skip leg day. Never, ever skip leg day. You're a Matt Damon if you skip leg day. How dare you skip leg day?
Damn it.
Let's give away the Swole card. Are you ready, Falcon? Can you plow this unicorn? Bring her back to sanity, please. Someone needs to plow Tessie. That's exactly right, Sheena. We'll talk about that in a second. Never skip leg day. Never skip leg day. Who's skipping leg day? Are you skipping leg day? Never skip leg day. Scroll. All right, we got a winner on Zarumble. Steph GZ for Jizzle. Steph, congratulations. On Zarumble. And Sheena's right. There are no congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3070 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Let's get into this. For a second, there are no trans kids, by the way. So congratulations, Steph, but there are no trans kids. There are not. There are no trans kids. There are just manipulated and brainwashed children. This is the sickest fucking thing. There's no child who's 4 years old, who's 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. I'm trans. No, you've just been manipulated. You may have fed poison, but you've been groomed and manipulated either by your parents or by teachers, social media, and your parents go along with it because they actually are not parenting you. There are no trans kids. Thanks for being here, fam. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, The Daily Swole. Every day, The Daily Swole, rumble.com/The Daily Swole. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3070 Schwam. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in a fanny pack, couple hundred in a Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new